Hi, welcome to Sunday School. This month of March is Women's History Month, and in celebration of that, this week we are reading the book She Persisted in Sports. It is written by Chelsea Clinton and illustrated by Alexandra Boninger, and it is talking about American women Olympiads who changed their sport for the better. It's not easy to be a girl athlete. Girls are more likely to be told sports are for boys, or that they'll never be good enough, fast enough, strong enough, and that their athletic dreams are unacceptable, even impossible. Don't listen to those people. These women athletes made their sports dreams real. They persisted. When Marguerite Ives Abbott was young, in the late 1800s, some girls had to work, and some girls, including Margaret, went to school. It was rare for any girl to play sports, but Margaret played golf. Even though she won local tournaments, there weren't many opportunities for girls to compete on a bigger stage. Still, she persisted in practicing golf while she studied and traveled. When she was in Paris in 1900, Margaret and her mother learned of an international sports exhibition happening at the World's Fair. Without knowing that it was the second modern Olympic Games, they entered and Margaret won. When Margaret died in 1955, she had no idea she'd been the first American woman to become an Olympic champion. She said, "The French girls apparently misunderstood the nature of the game and turned up to play in high heels and tight skirts." When she was a child, Gertrude Ederle lost part of her hearing because of measles, but she and her parents were determined that it wouldn't stop her from doing anything she wanted, including swimming. By the time she turned 20, she had won 3 medals in freestyle at the 1924 Olympics. She then found a new dream, to swim across the English Channel. After Gertrude's first attempt didn't succeed, her coach said that women might just not be capable of swimming the channel. Rather than listen to that coach, she found a new coach, and she persisted. The next year, in 1926, she succeeded. Her record time would not be broken for more than 20 years. People said women couldn't swim the channel, but I proved they could. When she was a teenager, Mildred Babe Dietrichson Zacharias worked as a seamstress, sewing sacks to store things like grains, potatoes, or sand, and at an insurance company. Babe could have decided she had no time for sports, but she persisted. In playing alongside her brothers, she earned her nickname, which honored the famous baseball player Babe Ruth, after hitting 5 home runs in one game. Her training clearly paid off. At the 1932 Olympics, Babe won gold medals in the javelin throw, the 80-meter hurdles, and a silver medal in the high jump. After her Olympic triumph, Babe took up golf and went on to win many women's golf championships. She is considered one of the greatest women athletes ever. "You can't win them all, but you can try," says Babe. Wilma Rudolph was born prematurely, weighing just 4.5 pounds, and by the age of 5 she had survived pneumonia, scarlet fever, and polio, which weakened her left leg and foot. For years she wore a leg brace, but she persisted in believing she would walk again and even run without her brace. And she was right. By 14, Wilma was competing in track events. At 16, she was the youngest member of the 1956 U.S. Olympic team. At 20, at the 1960 Olympics, Wilma won gold in the 100 and 200-meter sprints and the 4x100-meter relay, the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in one Olympics. Back home, Wilma used her new fame to push for integration in sports and public spaces and to support Black American women athletes, including Florence Griffith Joyner, the next woman to win 3 gold medals in one Olympics. Never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit. The potential for greatness lives within each of us. Born with spina bifida, a condition in which the spine is not fully formed, Jean Driscoll started playing wheelchair sports in high school. While playing wheelchair basketball at the University of Illinois, Jean realized her real position and talents were in wheelchair racing. She participated in 4 Paralympic Games, starting at the 1988 Summer Olympics, winning 12 medals, including 5 golds. Jean also won 8 Boston marathons, more than any other athlete ever. She could have rested on her personal and team achievements, yet she persisted in bringing her love of sports to other athletes with disabilities around the world, including helping to start Ghana's first Paralympic team. So she competes in her wheelchair. A champion is someone who has fallen off the horse a dozen times and gotten back on the horse a dozen times. Successful people never give up. When Mia Hamm and other women on the 1996 Olympic soccer team started playing their sport, there were few role models for them to look up to. Soccer wasn't a particularly popular sport in the United States, and most of the attention was given to men. Mia Hamm, Karia Overbeck, Julia Foudy, Christine Lilly, and Brandy Chaston, Brianna Scurry, and the other members of their team could have given up at any point, but they persisted, traveling the country and the world, proving that American women could win. They earned a gold medal at the first Olympics to include women's soccer, and a few years later won the World Cup. Mia and her teammates proved American girls could play soccer and win. Girls soccer is now one of the most popular kids' sports in America. There is no substitute for hard work, says Mia Hamm. Born with clubfoot, Christy Yamaguchi had to wear casts to help turn her feet so they would point forward. When she was 6 years old, Christy saw her older sister figure skating, and she wanted to be on the ice too. Her parents first supported her lessons as a form of physical therapy for her still recovering feet. Although her sister stopped skating, she persisted in training harder and harder on the ice. As a teenager, she won medals in both singles and pairs skating. With the 1992 Olympics looming, she decided to focus on her singles skating. It was a good decision. She won both the Olympic gold and the World Championships that year. Whatever it is you choose to do, it's okay to have a dream and aspire to do something and go for it. Together, tennis star sisters Venus and Serena Williams have won 14 women's double titles across all 4 Grand Slam tournaments and 3 Olympic gold medals, starting at the 2000 Summer Olympics. They are of the most successful doubles teams of all time. In their individual careers, Venus has won 7 Grand Slams and Serena 23. They've also both won individual golds at 2 different Olympics. The Williams sisters have confronted vile racism and sexism, which is when people are persecuted by the color of their skin or the fact that they're women, throughout their careers, but they never stopped. That never stopped them. They persisted in pursuing a sport they love and have helped define what tennis is for young girls and boys everywhere. Venus says you have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That makes you a winner right there. And Serena says, I am a full woman and I'm strong and I am powerful and I am beautiful at the same time. Both Misty May Treanor and Kerry Walsh Jennings had played and won multiple team volleyball events by the time they each graduated from college. They both had shifted their focus to women's beach volleyball, began working together, and dominated the sport. At both the 2004 and 2008 Olympics, they won gold medals. But after Kerry gave birth to 2 children in less than a year, many people wondered if the two of them would play together again. They persisted in playing as a team, though, and at the 2002 Olympics, while Kerry was pregnant with her 3rd child, she and Misty won again, showing the world that mothers can win gold medals too. And I'm sorry, that was the 2012 Olympics. So they were in 2004, 2008, and 2012 after Misty's 3rd child was born. All my life I've dreamed in gold, Misty says. And in this journey, the fear creeps in from time to time. I don't choose to live there. I let it spark me, says Kerry. When Diana Taurasi began playing basketball as a girl in the 1980s, professional women's basketball didn't exist in the United States, and women's basketball was a relatively new Olympic sport, even though men had been playing since 1936. Rather than be discouraged by the lack of opportunities, she persisted in working hard on the court. In college, she led her team to 3 championships in a row. Diana went on to win 4 Olympic gold medals with the American women's basketball team, starting in the 2004 Summer Olympics, and 3 WNBA championships with the Phoenix Mercury. She is the WNBA's all-time leading scorer. Records are always meant to be broken, she says. When Simone Biles was 6 years old, she and her sister were adopted by their grandparents. On a field trip to a local gymnastics center that year, Simone began imitating the gymnasts. The coach noticed and asked for permission for Simone to join their program. She did, and she persisted, throwing herself into every aspect of her new sport. She was the first American gymnast to win a gold medal in every event, and now has many difficult gymnastic skills named after her. At the 2016 Summer Olympics, Simone won 4 gold medals and 1 bronze, and has won more than 20 Olympic and World Championship medals in her career. She is widely recognized as the greatest gymnast of all time. And Simone says, to go out there and prove what I can do has taught me a lot about who I am. While she was growing up, Ibtijah Mohammed's parents wanted their daughter to be able to compete and excel in a sport that allowed her to maintain fully covered and wear hijab to cover her head. At 13, Ibtijah started to fence. Some people doubted that she could succeed, wondering if someone who wore hijab could even be a champion. She persisted and proved the naysayers wrong. In college, she was an all-American athlete and later earned a spot on the United States national fencing team. At the 2016 Summer Olympics, Ibtijah became the first hijab-wearing Muslim American to win an Olympic medal. She continued to shatter stereotypes when she helped design the first ever hijab-wearing Barbie modeled on her. It is important to me that youth everywhere, no matter their race, religion, or gender, know that anything is possible with perseverance. Growing up in North Dakota, all 6 Lamoureux siblings played hockey, including the youngest identical twins, Jocelyn and Monique. When they were 12, the sisters joined the local boys' team, and as the only girls, they persisted in leading their team to the state championship. They both were women's hockey stars in high school and college and made the 2010 and 2014 U.S. Olympic women's hockey teams, taking home the silver at both games. But things were different at the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Games. In the final game, Monique scored the necessary goal to send the match into overtime. Then the match went into a shootout. Jocelyn scored the game-winning goal, and the sisters helped the U.S. women's hockey team take home their first gold in 20 years. My daughter and I were actually at that game to witness it. That medal really symbolizes a lot more than just 2 weeks of hockey, Jocelyn Lamoureux says. Think it, be it, Monique Lamoureux says. So if someone tells you girls can't be athletes or that you'll never make it, don't listen. Focus on your dreams. These women did just that. They persisted, and so should you. I hope you enjoyed that book about women's sports and the Olympics.